Hey everybody, it's Jordan again from don'tbuythehype.blogspot.com. Just coming to talk a little SEC championship game tomorrow. But before I do that, hopefully this gets online in time. It may not. Wanted to just drop a quick piece of knowledge on you about the Pac-12 championship game that's being played tonight. Obviously the spread has moved. The point spread has gotten larger as the week has gone along. Making UCLA a 31-point underdog. If you are into getting a little action on the games, I'll tell you UCLA plus the 31 points is a great pick tonight. Rick Neuheisel, last game as UCLA's coach. No matter whether they win or lose, I think the kid's going to be playing 100% maximum effort for Neuheisel tonight. Really like UCLA plus the 31 points. I'm not saying they're going to win. Oregon is definitely going to win the football game, but I do think that UCLA is going to be able to keep it close. Now, on to the SEC championship game, another game that has the possibility of being a blowout, especially if you ask the talking heads. Everyone is saying that Georgia doesn't have a chance at all. It's a foregone conclusion. LSU is in the national championship game. Why are we even playing this game? Should LSU sit their starters? That was actually a poll question on CBSSports.com this week, which should Les Miles rest his starters in the SEC championship. Now, obviously, I think that's pretty ridiculous. Anytime you line it up on a Saturday, anyone has a chance pretty much to beat anyone, especially in the Southeastern Conference. That said, I really think that LSU does have a number of advantages in this game. First of all, being the head coaching. Les Miles, I'll go ahead and say Les Miles is probably the best coach in the country. I know a lot of people, especially people from Alabama or from your school, you may think you have a better head coach, but people like to call Les Miles the Mad Hatter, and they like to make fun of him for eating grass and all those things. But at some point, when you are lucky week in and week out, that doesn't really say that it's luck. That talks about how great you are as a game manager. Every big call, every gutsy play that LSU runs, seems to work every single time. If it works every time, I think at some point it stops being luck and it starts to be that you're just really that good. And I think that's the case here with LSU. In terms for Georgia and what they need to do, obviously tailback has been a big question this week. Looking at Isaiah Crowell, obviously a little controversy, rumors coming out of the Georgia camp about, green jersey this week, ankle hurting, does it not hurt, seniors and leaders from the team getting on him this week. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. I honestly think Isaiah Crowell will start the game tomorrow night against LSU. If Georgia is to have any chance tomorrow night, they've got to get off to a fast start. We can't go out and get down a touchdown or two touchdowns really quickly. If we start trying to fight the uphill battle against LSU, it is not going to happen. Georgia must get off to a fast start. That includes not turning the football over, no drive-killing penalties. We've got to be crisp. We really have to play, honestly, by far our best game of the season if we're going to have a chance against LSU. So we've got to get off to the fast start. That's the big deal. In terms of Georgia's defense, obviously statistically, Georgia has been a ton better this year on defense. I really look for Georgia to have some decent success stopping LSU's run game. I know our resident genius at ESPN, Mark May, says that Georgia has no chance of stopping LSU's run game. I disagree. I think Georgia will be able to stop LSU's run game. We've stopped everyone else's run game this year. Relatively speaking, even last week against Tech, they ran the ball 75-80% of the time and still only got about 230 yards. So I think Georgia will have some success defensively. There will be some chances for some one-on-one matchups in the secondary. Having Brandon Boykin and Bakari Rambo as a ball hawk in the center of the field, maybe that'll give Georgia some opportunities to make some big plays in the secondary. Because I really anticipate Georgia walking a safety down, playing 8 in the box to stop LSU's powerful run game. LSU defensively, again, they've got probably the most, or if not the most, then one of the two most with Alabama athletic and defenses in the country. Obviously everybody talks about Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, making plays, and it could be a play that he makes or someone else in the secondary makes, stripping a football. Or making a one-hand interception, a magical play like that can turn the Tide. If that happens tomorrow, at some point in the game, it'll be interesting to see how Georgia reacts to that. If they get on tilt, start reeling, this game could get ugly in a hurry. I really think the potential is there for that. Now, do I see that happening? I really don't. LSU, again, their run game is definitely the meat potatoes of their offense. They like to line it up and run it right at you. I think, again, like I said earlier, Georgia will have some success stopping that run game, so I think it'll leave it up to Jordan Jefferson to make some key throws, maybe to Ruben Randall or hitting a tight end here or there in the passing game. So, overall speaking, obviously LSU does have a fair advantage over Georgia in the game tomorrow. Georgia's got to get off to a fast start, got to get some stops on defense, force some punts early on. It's going to take Georgia's 60 best minutes of the year if they want to beat LSU tomorrow. It's not going to be play 30 minutes and then slack in the second half. We saw what happened with Arkansas last week, up 14-0 midway through the second quarter, behind at halftime, and just get blown away in the second half. If Georgia doesn't play a full 60, then they're not going to stay in the ball game. The line started out at 10 points. On Sunday, it's risen to 14 and a half, depending upon where you look in Vegas. I think that's a pretty fair line. I think that's why it stayed there. And obviously, it jumped from 10 to 13 really quickly, and then moved up slowly to 14. We haven't seen as much of a market increase in the line throughout the back half of the week like we did in the Pac-12 game. I think that the 14 is about a good spread. Now, my pick for tomorrow, my official pick, again, I'm a Georgia fan. I love the Dogs. I don't know if we have enough to stop LSU. So I'm going to say with my pick, I'm going to take LSU 31, Georgia 20. That's my pick. Sticking with it. Hopefully I'm wrong. So either way, it'll be a great day for me tomorrow. Either I'll be right on here with my LSU pick, or I'll be going crazy because Georgia's beating the #1 team in the country. So anyway, enjoy Championship Saturday tomorrow, guys. I believe Army-Navy is also on tomorrow. Got some 1AA playoff action. I guess FCS is the term now, playoff action. I'll definitely be tuning in early to watch Georgia Southern and Old Dominion. But again, a great day tomorrow, great Championship Saturday. Also check out Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, the de facto Big 12 or 10. How many teams they got. Their de facto championship game has been played tomorrow as well. So, enjoy the day. Have a great one. And again, don't buy the hype.